Watch me take this steep, challenging yard and design a beautiful outdoor space in just 5 steps. I'm here at a property that is almost perfect in every way. There's just one problem: the slope. You see, from the back of the house to the back of the yard, there's a 10-foot drop in elevation. But we're gonna use something that a lot of builders get hung up on. We're gonna take the elevation and we're gonna use it to our advantage to create an even better outdoor space than what you may imagine. So this is where we start, you know. One of the first things that we do is we jump in here into our 2D space, and I'm going to show you kind of the slope coming off of here. So this is where the house is sitting, and so from the very top where the house is to all the way down to the back of the property, it's a 10-foot gradual slope all the way to the end. There is a strategy here of using the edge of a shotcrete pool for the support instead of having to build up retaining wall, building a massive retaining wall on this backside. Let's just go ahead and we're gonna freestyle this pool. Because shotcrete swimming pools are built in the backyard with a rebar framework and not in a manufacturing plant, it allows for us to be completely customizable with the dimensions. 30 by 16. And let's see, you can kind of see this pool here. And now you can really see that elevation, right? And so if we go in and measure this, I mean, you're already at, 5.5 feet of drop. So if we want to reduce that, what we have to do is just kind of jump in here. Maybe we bring this down to a 14 foot. This would still be considered like a medium to large size pool. Maybe we pull this back in. Leave some space here. If you're going to be walking around to this deep end, you're going to want at least 3 feet. It's like a standard walkway, right? It's 3 feet. A tanning ledge can go right in the space here. Notice how I'm putting the tanning ledge on the side of the pool here and not the end. A tanning ledge needs to be at least 8 feet long to accommodate in-pool chase lounges, and you don't want to take away from the actual swimmable space of the pool. Honest confession here, this layout actually took me a while to figure out. I go live on YouTube frequently, and this was part of a 2-hour live stream of me figuring out how to best integrate this design into the backyard. So no, I did not land on this design right off the bat. It actually took a lot of trial and error, but sometimes that's what it takes to get the perfect design. I kind of want to go for a hideaway vibe, right? So I want this to be a place where people can discover and unlock new portions of this backyard space. And one of them is going to be down here. And how are they going to get there though? This is actually going to look so good once we start integrating some plants into this, some planter strips, and I want to build a little fire pit area down here. And I kind of imagine people swimming up to the edge of this patio or of this pool and joining the conversations in the fire pit area. One of the challenges that I faced when designing this fire pit area was the seating. On one hand, I wanted the seats to look out towards the woods and the view back there. However, I also could not put any of the seating on the backside where the pool was because water had the potential to come up and over the edge, splashing whoever was down there, especially if we wanted people to swim up to the edge and join the conversation. Here, I decided that a wrap-around seat bench would be best to kind of fit both those needs. Oh, and just so you know, this design actually came together live. I was working through this layout in real time during one of my live design shows, sharing all the details like elevation tricks, layout decisions, and even some setbacks. So if you want to catch the next one, or maybe see your own yard featured, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified when I go live. I mean, the symmetry is really nice here. You know, it fits very well. We might be able to adjust the pool depth to where this is maybe more of a play pool, to where, you know, it's 3.5 on each end, and then it's maybe 5 in the middle. It's incredibly important that you utilize the slope to your advantage. In the event that this pool needed to run long ways down the hill, we would want to integrate a deep end on the far side and a shallow end closer to the house to almost match the slope of the yard to minimize on excavation and to also reduce the risk of hitting hard rock, especially here in Nashville, Tennessee. I think that this is the design that we should go with. Let's start to play with some of the materials, and then we'll start throwing some plants in here. Yes, material selection, one of my favorite parts of the process. It's also one of the most important because it plays such a huge role in the actual end cost of the project. I always like to start my families with gray broom finish concrete and then introducing pavers and natural stone later on once we get the design right. Here, I know it's going to be important to lean into the hideaway vibe and the nature-esque feel, so we're going with a natural colored paver, split-faced veneer, and coping to run along not only the pool, but also the bench tops and the fire pit area. Once you start adding materials, this is when you can really see the project come together. Oftentimes, if I hit a creative roadblock, I'll go ahead and start integrating some materials to help me feel more connected to the space and really bring this to life. That way I've got a better vision for what it needs to be. Let's go ahead and add just a little bit more detail to this fire pit area. Okay, looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and throw in. And I'm actually going to do something that's kind of interesting. We're going to go into our fencing. And I'm going to actually build a fence around this, but I'm gonna change it to like an acrylic fence, and then it's gonna basically imitate a glass heat shield. Bring this down. There we go. That looks sweet. Ah, it's perfect. All right, so we got our little fire pit area. Are we concerned with people falling off this? I don't know. Maybe this is an opportunity for us to put plants here. We need this to be well lit. I know that. We need pool lights for sure. And we always put the pool lights facing away from the house. That way, when you look out, you're not getting, glares from the pool coming in. Lights up the backside of the pool nicely. Like this. Looks good. We're gonna jump into here and we're gonna find some plants and trees. Now this is where we can kind of get creative here. Put some sky pencil hollies or Japanese hollies in this section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll just do the same on this end. Looking at this design now, I probably should have found a way to connect this walkway to the rest of the yard instead of cutting it completely off with landscaping. Something to consider for your project when you go to design it is make sure that it doesn't close off the whole yard, but feels well integrated. This is how you build a pool on the side of a hill. Now that, my friends, is how you take an open backyard space like this one and turn it into this.